Welcome to another episode where we look at history and culture through the lens of beer. And today we're going to the Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan.
Wow.
It's a country about the size of Switzerland, nestled between India and China.
Mm-hmm.
And our subject is, well, Chang,
Chang.
the traditional Bhutanese beer.
Oh, interesting.
We have a paper here titled Beer Brewing in the Bhutanese Style. Gives us a really good look into, well, how they brew this stuff.
I'm excited.
And forget what you know about, like your standard beers.
Right.
We're going to explore the techniques, the social roles it plays,
Okay.
even the religious life of Chang in Bhutan.
I didn't realize there was a religious connection to beer. That's interesting.
It's a lot more than just a drink.
I'm starting to see that, yeah.
So when you look at Bhutanese brewing, they're doing things a bit differently from what we might be used to.
Yeah, how so?
Instead of the industrial yeast and the malted grains and hops,
Right.
they're part of a much older tradition in Asia that uses what are called amylolytic ferments.
Amylolytic ferments. Now, those are new words for me.
Yeah, they're basically, think of them as like these tiny natural powerhouses.
Okay.
They're cultivated microscopic fungi, including yeasts, molds like Aspergillus.
Oh, wow.
They grow on wild plants and cereals. And the thing is, these fungi, they convert starch directly into the sugars you need for fermentation.
Well, that's pretty neat. So they're like skipping a step almost.
Yeah, it's a totally different approach.
Instead of having to, sprout the grains or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just using this kind of wild, fungi to do the job.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So what do they call these?
Well, in Western and Central Bhutan, they're called fab or fow.
Fab or fow.
Yeah. And if you were in Eastern Bhutan, you'd hear them called fam.
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 Okay, fam. So how do they make these ferments?
Well, it all starts with wild plants, specifically chosen ones, which they call yangrim. Yangrim. They're the ones that actually produce the fermenting powerhouses.
Oh, cool.
Now, getting the exact botanical names can be tricky because there are different types.
Okay.
And they have very specific local names.
Makes sense.
Some grow in open areas, some grow at the edges of forests, some even grow higher up.
Oh.
But we do have a few examples here.
Yeah, what are some examples?
We've got Leucoceptrum canem,
Oh, wow.
Eupatorium murray,
Okay.
Polygala arylata,
Uh-huh.
and Belegia asiatica.
Bodalgi Asiatic.
Right. And they use different parts of these plants.
Oh, okay.
Flowers, leaves, bark, even the roots, depending on the plant.
I see.
And, of course, the region.
Right. So it's not just like any plant will do.
Exactly.
There's real knowledge there about what's going to work for this.
Oh, yeah. It's been passed down over generations.
So once they've got these yangrim, then what?
Then they dry them and grind them into a fine powder.
Oh.
And that powder is mixed with different flours, wheat, barley, rice, or maize flour.
Whatever they have.
Whatever's in the area.
Yeah.
Leftover bits from cereals, like bran and straw, get added.
Okay.
Then they add water to make it moist.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes they even add a little bit of old ferment
Oh, okay.
to kind of kick things off.
A sourdough starter?
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, a little bit of old to help the new along.
I like that.
And then this mixture is shaped into little pellets.
Okay.
Or they make them flat like pancakes.
Yeah.
Then, get this, they cover them with flour and put them between layers of Himalayan pine needles.
Pine needles.
Pine needles.
Why pine
To mature for about 15 to 20 days.
Wow.
Temperature and humidity are really important during this time
Oh, yeah, of course.
for the fungi to grow and do their thing.
Yeah. It's creating the perfect little environment.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, is there a specific reason for using the pine needles?
Well, the paper suggests that the essential oils in the pine needles create an environment that favors the beneficial fungi and inhibits other microbes that might be harmful.
Oh, so it's like a natural quality control.
Exactly. It's a way of ensuring that the good guys thrive.
Smart.
After this, the fresh ferments are dried, either in the sun or above a hearth.
Okay.
This way they can be preserved, and these dry cakes can actually last for
Well-
years.
Riz.
Years. And they're even traded in markets.
Huh.
And their appearance can vary a lot. They could be brown-green, creamy white, sometimes even pinkish if they use Bhutan's red rice.
Oh, wow.
So these little cakes are the key to brewing Chang.
Okay, so now we've got the fab, the fow, or the fam.
That's right.
Now, how do we make Chang?
Well, it starts with cooking various cereals.
Okay.
Again, whatever's common in the area. Could be barley, wheat, buckwheat, millet, rice, even yams or taro in eastern Bhutan.
Oh, wow.
All that goes into boiling water, and this creates a starchy mash called loom. It's the food source for the ferments. Once it's cooled down, they mix it thoroughly with the fab cakes.
So the enzymes from the fungi start breaking down the starches.
Exactly. Breaking down the starches into fermentable sugars.
Right.
And then this mixture is left in a closed container for, well, could be days, could be weeks.
Oh, wow.
Depends on the temperature.
Yeah.
During this time, both the breakdown of the starch and the fermentation happen together.
So both things are happening at the same time.
Simultaneously.
Right.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
It's a natural process unfolding.
I like it.
Once it's fermented, the mash is then diluted with fresh water.
Okay.
And traditionally, it's filtered using a simple tube made of wicker.
Ah, interesting.
And this process yields two main types of Chang.
Ah, right. You mentioned before the Bang Chang and Sing Chang.
Exactly.
So what's the difference?
Well, Bang Chang is your everyday beer. It's made by adding water to the mash multiple times,
Okay.
filtering it each time.
So you're kind of stretching it out?
Yeah, you can get several brews from one original batch.
Wow.
It's usually served lukewarm and sipped through a bamboo or metal straw.
Okay.
Sometimes they even dilute it a second or third time.
Wow.
It's a beer meant to last.
So Bang Chang is the everyday beer.
Right.
What about Sing Chang?
Sing Chang is the noble beer.
Oh.
It's the very first liquid that's filtered from the mash without any extra water.
So the most concentrated.
Exactly. Because of this, it has a stronger aroma, more intense flavor, and higher alcohol content.
Oh, I see.
It's served cold, in smaller quantities, and usually offered to guests.
Oh, so it's a special occasion beer.
Exactly. And there's a tradition of making a little clicking sound with your tongue to show appreciation for the Sing Chang.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
It's like saying, this is good stuff.
Yeah, like a little beer tasting click.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, there's also Chongko, which is a little different.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the Chongko. So that one's not really a beer, is it?
Well, it's more of a beer porridge.
Oh.
It's made from fermented grains.
Okay.
It's thick, almost soup-like, and sometimes they even fry it.
Fried beer porridge.
It's delicious. It's considered to be very nutritious and strengthening, often prepared for customs, special events, or given to women after they've given birth.
Wow. So Chang is a pretty big deal in Bhutan, then.
Huge. It's so much more than just a drink.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that.
It's part of their everyday life.
The paper talks about how it's woven into their culture and their society.
Absolutely.
So tell me more about that.
Well, for example, it's not just something you drink when you're thirsty. It goes with meals.
Oh.
They
Okay.
even have specific terms for this.
Oh, really?
To Chang is beer with food.
To Chang.
Jo Chang is after tea.
Yasha.
Shei Chang is for rinsing your mouth after a meal.
So there's beer for every stage of eating.
Pretty much. And it's also important for supporting agricultural work,
Makes sense.
giving people energy and a bit of enjoyment during hard labor.
Right, like a little reward.
Yeah. And then it plays a key role in community projects as well.
Okay.
It's a form of reciprocal exchange.
It's like social currency, almost.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Families help each other out, and Chang is part of that exchange.
I see.
And the hospitality customs are fascinating.
Yeah, the paper mentions that they use Chang and Ara, which is the distilled version.
Right, Ara is a bit stronger,
Okay.
but both are used extensively in rituals of welcoming and hospitality.
So what kind of customs are we talking about here?
Well, they have Dong Chang, or Feb Chang, which
Yeah.
is a welcoming beer.
Okay.
Sua Chang is a special welcome for lamas and officials.
So different beers for different guests.
Exactly. They even have beer for different times of day.
Really?
Zim Chang is offered before sleep.
Before sleep.
Zhang Chang is for when you wake up.
Wow.
And there's Kel Chang, which is a farewell beer.
Okay.
Lam Chang is for travelers.
Interesting.
And Tishog Chang is for communal offerings during gatherings.
It's like beer is a constant in their social interactions.
It's a way of showing respect, marking important moments, and strengthening bonds.
Yeah. And it's not just formal occasions, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Chang is also a big part of family events, both happy and sad.
Okay.
They have Men Chang for visiting someone who's sick,
Oh.
Chang Hoi for celebrating a new baby,
Okay.
Log Chang for weddings,
Right.
Tashi Chang and Tende Chang for joyous occasions like archery competitions.
So whatever's happening, there's a chain for it.
You got it. The Log Chang, for example, is the beer that both guests and hosts bring for feasts and ceremonies.
Okay.
It represents that beautiful spirit of reciprocity that's so central to Bhutanese culture.
It's really fascinating how this one drink is so deeply embedded in every aspect of their life.
It is. It's a reminder that food and drink are never just about sustenance.
Right.
They're also about culture, tradition, and connection.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I found really interesting in the paper was the religious side of Chang.
Ah, yes. That's where things get even more fascinating.
It seems like there's a bit of a paradox there.
How so?
Well, the paper says that strict Buddhists don't drink alcohol,
That's right. Monks and nuns, for example, abstain from alcohol.
but offerings of Chang, especially Ara, are actually quite important in their religious life.
It's a beautiful example of how cultural practices and religious beliefs can intertwine in complex ways.
Yeah, so how does that work in practice?
Well, one key ritual is the Mar Chang.
Marching.
It's a mixture of beer and butter that's offered to deities and spirits.
Wow.
This tradition actually goes back to the pre-Buddhist Bon religion, which is still practiced in some parts of Bhutan.
Oh, interesting.
Then they have Ditsi Chang,
Dipsy Chang.
which is offered during Chichu ceremonies, large festivals with masked dances and religious rituals.
Okay.
It's considered a blessed drink after prayers.
So it's kind of like communion.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
It's about sharing a sacred drink as part of a religious ceremony. Then you have Circum.
Circum.
This is a really special offering where the best Chang or Era is offered on family altars and at mountain passes.
Wow, so it's like an offering to the spirits of the land.
Exactly. It's a way of showing respect and seeking blessings. And then there's Sangas Chang.
Sang Jung.
This one involves incorporating Era into incense that's burned on domestic altars.
Wow. So the alcohol is actually part of the incense itself.
That's right. It's quite unique.
It seems like there are a lot of different ways that Chang and Era are integrated into religious life.
Oh, absolutely. The paper goes into quite a bit of detail about all the various practices.
What else is there?
Well, there's Sham Chang for dancers in religious performances.
Oh, interesting.
Tor Chang is related to torma cakes, which are ritual offerings made from barley flour.
Okay.
Mag Chang is offered after ritual battles, which are sometimes performed as part of ceremonies.
Ritual battles.
Yeah, they can be quite elaborate. And then you have Drol Chang, which is offered to priests after ceremonies.
Okay.
Yang Chang is offered to Jampala, the deity of wealth.
The deity of wealth. Interesting.
Yan Chang is for the deceased. San Chang is for mountain spirits.
Wow. So many different offerings.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
There's even Che Chang, which is for long life, and Kondo Chang, which is related to astrological science.
It seems like every aspect of life, from the physical to the spiritual, is touched by Chang in some way.
It's a truly holistic tradition. The paper quotes an elder from Punakha who talks about the religious significance of Chang and the need for purity when brewing Ara for offerings.
No, what does he say?
He says, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the Ara offered to the deities must be made with the utmost care and reverence.
Makes sense.
It's a sacred act, and the purity of the drink reflects the purity of the intention behind the offering.
It's really beautiful how they view it.
It is. It speaks to a deep respect for the spiritual realm and a recognition of the power of these simple everyday things to connect us to something larger than ourselves.
I like that. So we've talked a lot about the cultural and religious side of Chang. The paper also talks about the economy in Bhutan and how things are changing. Chang and Ara, they play a role in the rural economy.
They do. They contribute to household income, and in the past, they were part of a barter system.
Oh, interesting.
But as Bhutan moves towards a more market-based economy, we're seeing some shifts.
What kind of shifts?
Well, there's a difference emerging between those who consume industrially produced drinks and those who stick to the traditional ones.
Oh, I see. It's like a reflection of the changing times.
Exactly. And there's also a ban on selling homemade Chang and Ara that's been in place since 1983.
A ban.
Yes.
Yeah.
But foreign beverages can be imported freely.
Oh, wow. That's a big contrast.
It is, and it raises some questions about the future of traditional brewing practices.
Yeah, I can see that.
The paper also mentions a study from 2004 that looked at how much of the cereal crops in different regions were used for brewing.
What did they find?
They found that in eastern Bhutan, where brewing traditions are very strong, a much higher percentage of the crops were going towards making beer and Ara.
Oh, interesting. So it's like there are regional differences in how important brewing is.
Absolutely.
The paper also talks about how there's a risk of losing this traditional knowledge as things become more industrialized.
That's right. And it's a concern that's shared by many cultures around the world who are seeing their traditional practices decline in the face of modernization.
It's like a loss of cultural heritage.
It is. And it's something that we need to be mindful of.
Absolutely. Now, the paper also talks about the wider Himalayan context of this type of brewing.
Oh, yes. The use of amylolytic ferments is actually quite common across the Himalayas.
So it's not just Bhutan.
No, not at all. It's found in Tibet, Nepal, Sikkim, Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, West Bengal, all over the place.
Wow.
And there's incredible variety in the types of ferments they use.
Oh, really?
Different local names, different compositions, different wild plants used to cultivate them.
It really speaks to the diversity of the region.
Exactly. It's a reflection of the different ecosystems and the unique knowledge that each community has developed over generations.
But the underlying technique is the same.
Yes, the basic technique of creating those little cakes of cooked grains to cultivate the local fungi is pretty much the same.
Okay.
There are some minor variations in the process,
Like what?
whether they use ash or sugar, how they wrap the ferments, how they dry them, but the fundamental principle is the same.
Huh.
It's a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of these traditional practices.
And the paper says that these brewing traditions are often linked to indigenous rural populations.
That's right. And there's growing interest among researchers in the potential benefits of these ferments.
Oh, what kind of benefits?
Nutritional benefits, economic benefits, environmental benefits. There's a lot to explore there.
It sounds like a whole hidden world of knowledge just waiting to be discovered.
It really is.
And the paper even briefly mentions the history of beer brewing in ancient India.
Yes, there's evidence that beer was brewed in ancient India going back to the Maurya Empire.
Wow.
Texts like the Arthasastra mention a type of beer ferment called kinva. It's a reminder that this tradition of ferment-based brewing has been around for a very long time in Asia and the Himalayas.
Especially when you compare it to the malting methods that became more common in the Near East and Europe.
Exactly. It's a completely different approach, and it's been incredibly successful.
It really puts things into perspective. So Chang is not just a modern-day tradition. It has roots that go way back.
Deep roots. The paper gives us a glimpse into the specific history of beer in Bhutan itself.
What does it say?
Well, it suggests that the origins of Chang are likely tied to the development of agriculture in the Himalayas,
Okay.
the rise of social structures, and the establishment of religious rituals involving fermented drinks.
It makes sense that those things would all go together.
They do. Archaeological evidence suggests that farming in Bhutan dates back to around 1500 BCE,
Wow.
and historical events in the Ganges Valley likely led to migrations of people northwards, contributing to the social and political conditions that allowed brewing traditions to flourish.
So it was a combination of factors that came together to create this unique brewing culture.
Exactly. And we even have historical accounts from ancient Greece mentioning rice beer in India.
Really?
Yes, writers like Strabo and Elian talk about it.
Wow.
And of course, there's the Arthasastra from about 2,000 years ago, which mentions beer and beer ferments, showing how important they were even back then.
It's amazing how this seemingly simple drink has such a long and complex history.
It is. It's a reminder that the things we eat and drink are often connected to much larger stories.
Absolutely.
Stories of culture, of tradition, of migration, of innovation.
It's fascinating how it all comes together.
It is. Chang is a truly remarkable drink.
Yeah, so much more than just a drink.
It's a symbol of Bhutanese culture, society, religion, and history.
And a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of traditional brewing practices.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a really fascinating look into the world of Chang. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us.
My pleasure. It's always a joy to talk about beer and the amazing stories it holds.
And thanks to all of you for listening. Please subscribe to the show for more explorations into the world of history and culture.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.